Alright, so another recap. Uh, we are focusing on New York session this time. When I went into the New York Open, of course, there was a massive sell off. I believe this was because of some Trump news. Honestly, don't really care that much. But what was significant was that prices already had quite a considerable move down in this case. We'd taken key liquidity and we were trading within a um, key daily fair value gaps. So considering the very sharp sell-off and the fact that price was kind of very overextended from the previous range during London and Asia, I kind of went in with a bullish bias to at least the session to open. I was expecting price to at least to rebalance to maybe the equilibrium of this hourly bearish fair value gap. So when I'm looking at the 5 minute, before market open, the only thing I was looking at was this 5 minute inverse fair value gap matched with, of course, the 20 SMA on the 5 minute to turn bullish. Usually market open, I do get a bit pessimistic about taking trade entries. And the significant thing about market open in this case here is we got pretty much the 5 minute inverse fair value gap confirmed. Plus you had a really strong break above the 20 SMA. So this is the first pretty much trade entry that you could have taken in this case. What I do know is that this was pretty handy, this one here. This one was very handy, which resulted in a move higher for the first hour and a half of the session. Usually what I find with myself is I get pretty pessimistic when it comes to managing risk, and especially due to the range of Nasdaq. Usually when I look at something with a 50-point stop loss, at least, I just kind of freeze up a bit on the screen. I freeze up a bit on the screen, and I get just a bit scared, honestly, which is not the greatest thing considering that I have a pretty strong model in this case here, and even if you're trying to target this high, still a 1-to-1 ratio is not amazing, but still there is a considerable setup you could take here. You could use standard deviations to kind of format a better target as well. But yeah, when I was looking at the setup for long here, I was pretty much targeting this high. So essentially, I didn't like the stop here. I didn't like the fact there was a 1-to-1 ratio. It just kind of put me off here. Yes, maybe you could have expected a higher move into the equilibrium of this fair value gap on the hourly, but I don't like getting too greedy as well and trying to aim for insane price targets. But yeah, that was pretty much the only setup that I saw throughout the session. 1 minute there wasn't too much going on. Strong expansion, maybe a bit of a CS assisted here again for another entry long on the 1 minute to try and get up to that hourly fair value gap, which of course was quite a strong level in this case. Realistically, the 5 minute was the cleanest setup considering that not only did you take key liquidity delivered in higher time frame fair value, which was the daily in this case, time market open pretty much right before market open you had the confirmation PD raise, of course. 5 minute inverse fair value gap, 20 SMA was broken in the 5 minute after being bearish. So yeah. The other thing that I will have a look at, I'll usually record, is the ranges for the end of the session. So I will essentially just get a line graph and I'll mark out what Asia, London, and New York did for the session. I just like to kind of get an understanding on a range of what did price do during Asia, London, and New York. Usually I just do it in 15 minute. So pretty much it'll be, in this case, London seek and destroy, took Asia highs and then Asia lows. and in this case New York was just static. It failed to take those lows. I don't believe there was any SMT here as well. Could be an SMT, but not quite familiar with ES. No, it's no SMT, so no problem. But yeah, no, so that's the other thing that I look for. It's pretty much New York analysis. And so to just refine kind of how I look at stuff, I would have gone into New York session. I would have seen price had taken this key low here. In this case, I saw a strong expansion move down. Yes, you're bearish on your higher time frame, but it made sense to see some sort of reprice higher in this case. Price was pretty far away, pretty under the standard deviations from the small Asia range. So I saw maybe some sort of reprice higher to begin the session, which of course happened, which of course happened, and yeah, price went higher for this session. So yep. Not much else to say here. 5-minute inverse fair value gap was the play of the day, just for a bullish bias, at least for market open.